Hi, I'm Brian Baker. This is my wife Tina. I'm a fireman with Los Angeles Fire Department. My wife is a nurse with Children's Hospital Los Angeles. We've been at Crossroads for just about 4 years. We have 3 wonderful children, and this is our story.
Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow.
We met, I was a youth pastor. I was a youth pastor for 6 years at a church I actually grew up at in Burbank. And Tina was actually a volunteer with me in my youth group. Started dating and got married quite young.
16 years ago. We had been married for about 5 years and decided it was time to jump into parenthood, and thought everything would go so smoothly, just like everyone else around us. We spent a long time trying, and it just wasn't happening, and doctors' tests and everything was normal, and we just spent a lot of time on our knees trying to figure out, what God's will was for our family.
I didn't feel necessary for Tina to be pregnant and to bear the child herself. I think as time went on, God gave her that peace as well. The time was right for adoption to fall in our hearts. And it was at the same time we came to each other and we said, yes, that's what we need to do.
We were matched with a birth mom who was in desperate trouble at that point in her life and was at rock bottom and was unable to care for this child.
So you fast forward 5 months later, we were there when she gave birth. Tina was in the delivery room, she gave birth. As soon as they wheeled Grant out, actually into the hallway, they grabbed me and pulled me into the hallway, and there he is in a little incubator, and just beautiful as could be.
Then we took Grant home at 24 hours, and when you walk out of a hospital with another woman's baby as she's crying and saying goodbye to her child, you really understand the sacrificial love that adoption is, and how she went home physically ready to care for a baby and with her arms empty. And I just will never forget that moment of the mixed emotion of being elated for your family and devastated for her at the same time in her grieving.
A lot of strong men ask me, but he's not of your flesh, or he doesn't have your DNA in his blood. But I tell them he's a Baker. He's mine.
So we had a wonderful first birthday party for Grant, and I got home and the next day was really tired and took a pregnancy test on a whim. But it was positive, and that moment is, there's very few times in your life where in one moment you see why God had you go through a trial. And I held that pregnancy test in my hand and realized that if this had happened at any other time, I wouldn't have this beautiful baby boy sleeping in his crib.
Grant's God's gift to us, and our family's got his gift to him.
So when Audrey was 1 year old, I was feeling tired again, and we took another test and we were pregnant again with Joshua, and he came a month after Grant's 3rd birthday. So we had all 3 kids in 3 years, which was absolute mayhem, wonderful mayhem.
I think through all this process, the one thing that really sticks out that God was teaching us is trust, and trusting in Him, and patience, and He's the one that gives us patience.
I think what God taught me in this process was daily trust in Him, just constantly surrendering my will and the picture that I had for the way our family should be created.
I think through all this we realize that our story is not our own, but it's God's story, and ultimately He's not finished with the Baker story.